What is this fairy enjoyment? Men are tired of city life. So I spend all my savings, deep in the Alps, buy 2-century-old food buildings built in 1903 and dozens of acres of surrounding forest, ready to live alone again. Martin rushed to his new home early in the morning. He brought in a trailer full of tools. Due to 15 years of disrepair, requires extensive renovations. Fortunately, there is a water pipe connection. Don't worry about water sources. As for electricity, Martin is also planning ahead. Purchase solar panels in advance. After all assembled, then connect with the indoor inverter. Weather. The first night you stay, you enter the electrical age. Wake up in the morning to the chirping of birds. He found the source of the water pipe while wandering. This well is the same age as the food. The water inside is still abundant. The main task today is to clean up dirty environment. He couldn't stand it. Lumber in the corner. It's the only thing that can be recycled, so I didn't want to throw it away. Wait until you're done moving the big items. It's time inside to clean up the dust and the cobwebs on the roof. And the outside is full of weeds. Nature can't let it go. Eradicate it together. Now it looks like an occupied house. And I made a little shelf out of a few planks. I can cook, by the way. Due to the large temperature difference between day and night on the top of the fireplace. But before installing, he brought a large slate from nearby. While acting as a fireplace base, it also prevents fires. Finally connect the shallots. I won't have to freeze tonight. Watching the smoke rising from the roof. The silent mountains and forests instantly have when it's all right. He likes to relax, to enjoy the stunning scenery of the Alps. When I got home and was about to enter the century-old wooden door suddenly stopped. Have no choice but to replace it again. Fortunately, there are spare parts. Measure the size, then saw off the excess part, and you can install it. Period. The technician came to the door to do a safety inspection of the food. Make sure you can pass on 3 generations of ingredients installed before leaving are not well lit. Only 2.5 hours of daylight per day. So Martin found a new feng shui treasure. We've framed it, we've transferred the panels. If you don't want to work, then quit. Went out for a walk. Went straight to somebody's house. The owner is a priest. He generously introduced his home to Martin. 15 daylights on both floors are perfect. Not only did they grow all kinds of wild There's even a greenhouse vegetable shed. Completely self-sufficient. Martin also stayed for dinner. Come back and continue working. He fastened the planks to the frame. Make a small wooden box, used to install inverters and battery packs. Connection of lines. Naturally, it is a hand. Electricians used to do a lot of work. Then brush the anti-corrosion device on the so as to slow down the erosion of the wind and sun. Monitors were also installed on the side of the wooden clear the display power and voltage conditions. After finishing, he directly sat on the ground. The Alps in late autumn are lined with forest. Beauty is like a painting. The Alps in late autumn are breathtaking. With the arrival of a rain, Martin discovered a new problem. The roof is leaking, and the measure has softened and hasn't changed. It is estimated that it is caused by long-term renovating the roof is a complex project. He plans to do it again next spring, so I got slates to act as tiles, just for a while. Continuous drizzle, misty mountains. He came to Moo's house again for dinner. Looking at the exquisite decoration compared to your own foods, it's like fishing on a plane. He also added stairs on purpose. Of course, there are no less chicken wraps. Now the first thing I do when I wake up every day is to look at the chicken coop and feeding them. Eggs can only be produced faster if in addition to that, drink well. With all the concrete walls completed, the remaining molds can also be dismantled. The excess soil on the ground. Winter is coming quietly. Martin unleashes his superpowers. The boss is also awesome. Direct home delivery. And then little by little, don't look at him back as a photographer artist. But the physical strength is not bad at all. 2.5 days later, it finally looks a lot cleaner. The room is perfect. After Martin paved the ground with the Alps are another installed the indoor drainage pipes in place, and they bring in sand down the mountain, laying on the surface of the historical layer. Flatten the backlog and tighten it. It looks a lot smoother now. Martin installed a protective net, but he still wanted to see if any beasts so an infrared camera was set up nearby. I didn't expect to stay in the middle of the night. It turned out to be a black cat sheriff. But Martin's mood is not very good. This is a bit unexpected, and the soulmates who spent 2.5 weeks in the chicken coop. I have the courage to go for a walk outside. There are many insects and snails on the grass. Rich protein content. Not even beef. considering the serious seepage of the basement order to wall. Avoid the trouble of old cold legs. Martin decided to dig the foundation. Roof leaks are getting worse. I saw that he cleaned up the surrounding debris, then unleashed the superpower at this time. Of course, there is no shortage leisurely becoming an old helper rather than shipping soil back and forth. This life is obviously a lot easier. And there are big rocks down there. It's harder to move. Sitting and directing as a foreman. And it is down too. Measured high risk of collapse. Martin didn't stop working with his hands either. Wearing a raincoat by the small stove wall. Keep digging and digging with a little excavator. After 2.5 days, then comes the laying of waterproof materials. Martin is particularly the first layer is scripted vinyl. It can reduce the loss of indoor heat. The next layer is a durable plastic tarp. And finally, dent cloth. Fortunately, the waterproof part was laid in advance. But protect the plastic sheeting underneath. In addition to that, and drains at the bottom of the ditch. The remaining water drips into then it is drained into the valley through a circle of pipes. In order to avoid soil clogging the drip filter cloth will be wrapped around the pipe. It can be said that the arrangement is clear. Wait until all these paving are in place. When the floor has not been invaded for 100 years, you can start backfilling. As summer approaches, the stove in the tent is about just because they are also wandering around. It's a fairy life in a machine. Although the small vegetable garden but self-sufficiency is not a problem at all. The indoor plumbing is also very complicated. It's all Martin's doing. I can only hope that the roof and then we put a layer of insulation on the corners and gaps are filled with styrofoam. Wait until the weather is nice. Go on a hike. After all, the combination of work and when he came back from his own chicken has suffered. Photographed by a nearby infrared camera. Unleash wild dogs attack them. Fortunately, it didn't break. This semi-basement. One of them had his leg broken. Martin is also very remorseful. Decided to take the time to build a fence. If another wild dog strikes, then treat him to a peanut for free. The pipeline has been fully laid. Martin put a tarp over them. Internet trolls overlaid with a comment then the concrete can be glued. Of course, this also requires used by the original owner as a rearing family. Wait until all the names are not popular. Now even if a magnitude 8 earthquake comes, because you don't need to have it. It's time to cook again. Martin picked some fresh green comb to make a hearty braise, then go to the terrace to enjoy the delicious until dinner to continue working. Since ancient times, there have been roads he bought a whole fat and water do Martin not plans flow out of outside. Connect to the drain pipe in the bathroom. After collecting enough, it can also be used to grow vegetables. Kill 2 birds with 1 stone. Why hasn't it been buried yet? It's getting colder than your girlfriend. It suddenly began to rain. Martin had to dig the drainage area. Alpine fog after rain. He had to make his own pancakes building bathrooms. I just don't know how it tastes. The next day, while the rain stops, install the septic tank in place. A couple who traveled around the world. I came to visit him specially. As we all know, as long as you food is absolutely Martin is worried that no one will help him return to the septic tank. Free tools are delivered to your door when you are tired. You don't even have to cook. Susan showcased her cooking skills to the fullest. It's nothing compared to what Martin did. Wait until Susan wakes up. To say that there are girls in the family, the atmosphere really feels like a piece of pinching. Even my own RV. He also wants to take. I didn't expect to see the exterior decoration. He will also come to the top of the mountain to look out into the distance. The couple, Martin, saw the work. It's time to say goodbye and go again. Martin early in the morning with a sigh. Relentlessly explored. Remember the same operation last year. After treatment. Brother Key with a broken leg could also limp too. This is also a rather explosive as the mountain wildflowers bloom. As the snow falls, Martin's peach blossom love. A beautiful woman came to visit. As a professional physician, what plants did Xiao Mei introduce to Martin? Edible and common herbs. Efficacy? I don't know how much he heard. Anyway, I'm just looking at girls. Nice. The solar panels are also piled up. Do you envy this life? In addition to that, work has to go on. He used digger cubs to level the front road down the mountain. I didn't expect to fix half of it. Martin was attracted by the cows on the hillside. He looked forward to waiting until the renovation was completed. After all, the whole mountain belongs to him. After cleaning up, idle is idle. Martin's previous food model made by Token finally arrived today. But the rendering graph of the flower gives us a for the grass glimpse. To come back anyways you could go. You could keep it very rust. For the sunlight because this sun is quite interesting, yeah. and you can walk down that washing area. And then the fireplace is on the other side that I found that the water tank had frozen hard, and he was very pleased with it, with expectations for the future. Will be more motivated to transform. And after more than 2 months, Martin finally got his first egg. It seems that only because they lived up to his expectations. The dilapidated kennel at the door. It has also been refurbished. Even the floors were poured with concrete. For aesthetic reasons. But these are small problems. Arch doors also have to be arranged. The roof is tied with a collar and then shake the tool man friend. Cover the heavy corpse. The good guy still lives in a tent by himself. Chicken coop. Kennel to the event of the series extremely busy. He sprinkled grass seeds on the front and back of the house. And the blessing of after 2.5 weeks, it's already snow green. At the door dug a big spoonful. The Alps after the rain. Layers of mist. Since my parents are on vacation to visit me, so Martin had to sleep in the tent first. It reminded him of the sleep in the same place here. The grass is very high, and the food hasn't been refurbished. Come to think of it, it was 2 years ago. Although the old father is here on vacation, really doesn't, but there's still work to be done. Shovel. Early in the morning with a lawnmower, ruthlessly harvesting the lush weeds, Mother began to prepare lunch, and Martin goes back to his shack after leaving the mortar. So and mend the leaking wall. Since raising chickens, collecting coon eggs has become his daily routine. Clean and hygienic. Helpless because they don't work hard. I can only go home empty-handed today. Go back and continue to fill the cracks on the wall. The family sat around the campfire. Martin to his parents, tell about your life here. Then he took them to the top of a nearby mountain. Looking down at the lights in the distance under the old mother was going to make an apple pie. Is pretty much remove clean. Peel. Martin handed it over to Brother Chicken. Let them lay their eggs supplement nutrition. Back to Wild Kitchen. This approach seems a bit cumbersome. Take a good look and after all are completed, let's sit down together and chat enjoying about a rare time together. Wait until dinner. To increase the indoor height, the restless father is carrying the male party against the nearby birch forest. For the tree brother, who obstructs the line of sight. Help my son deal with it all. Anyway, the whole mountain belongs to him. Martin used to go through a real estate agent. I have seen photos from 15, 16, it was also used as a ranch at that time. Cows in the mountains in summer, so no control. He's going to dig another 20 centimeters down. The forest will soon cover his shabby house. After a week and a half on the mountain. The old couple continued their vacation by car. Majau Thunderdigger. All Martin could sit and watch. The next day he got up early. Continued to fill 10 strong seams after breakfast. In order not to leak a little bit of wind. This work cannot be sloppy. Wait until the sun rises completely. But the leaking slate slowed down the process. He came to the neighborhood to pick raspberries. Serve as a daily snack. It can also supplement the vitamins your body needs. Martin, the sixth, has a camera in the monitor Brother Chicken's every move. Fortunately, I didn't make a trip in vain today. Harvest to protein-filled eggs. The nest where the duck neck lived empty before. Now. I can only tilt the head up a little bit. So Martin cleans it up. Plug in a new stone brick. While he was busy mowing the lawn, Brother Chicken is taking a shower by the kitchen basement window. It's already visible to the naked eye. To be on the safe side, first he decided to replace borrowed the steel pipe from Wu Niang. It holds up the ground floor. The other side is replaced by wooden squares. Outside the house during transportation. With double insurance. You can remove the slate from the window with confidence after moving the pieces down. The joist can see the light of day after 100 years of wind and frost, I can finally be laid off. Luckily there are no termites, otherwise it would have. Although the outermost one is also dilapidated. But he only carries a small part. Martin decided to keep it. The windows were also sanded. Old can be more historical. So he brought in new joists. After some processing and polishing. The size is just right after cutting it off. But this is an experiment. He also has to paint it with anti-corrosive to ensure that it will last for 100 years. Wait for drying time. Martin from Mowing Palace is going for a stroll nearby again. And after measuring it very precisely, the two men at the foot of the mountain today he's going to take down a lot of physical staircase. Explain the general plan to everyone. Martin launched an attack on the plank. Others are responsible for temporarily propping up the floor with steel pipes. After all, this wood is due to the reinforcement of wild iron nails, so they went one by one into the put a snow chain on the car the next day. It took a lot of effort to tear it all down, but soon faced new difficulties. One end is firmly stuck in the wall. Several people worked together and couldn't move it out. As a last resort, Martin had to pull it up. Then I'm still afraid to go on the court. It's a lot easier to move out of the house. Then he reinstalled the finished curtains, reused the removed slate, came to the Yamashita timber mill and bought a bunch of brand new lumber. So I found angle steel as a support. After reinforcement with screws, the interior of the stone wall is then filled with concrete. Martin demolished all the floors in one go, ready to replace with a brand new one. In between the busyness, he also made a feeder for Brother Chicken, by the way. Definitely a big family. It just costs a little money. Looking at the entire kanji, it is also very explosive. As for compensation, naturally, it has to be an egg full of protein. He has only been working in Moying when hiking in a short time. Again. I didn't drive back until 2.5 days I also later. Picked up a few wild Maybe it will be useful in the future. So after removing the iron nails on it, put it in his own small warehouse. Fortunately, the boss is awesome. The food is in a mess. It's still a long way from Martin's The concrete with just support angles has dried. So these steel pipes can also be returned autumn rain. Let the Alps be shrouded in fog. But that didn't stop the cows from going out to forage them at all. Martin is also feeling very hungry. I went to the vegetable garden to pick transport the wood halfway to satisfy my cravings. After eating this kung fu, I went to lie down. The next day he repaired the food facade to build scaffolding and strip food, leaving many holes untreated. And then he, being all-rounder, pulls preparing for the staircase construction. Just as he moved it into the house, the pouring rain leans down. Martin looked back and forth. The rest of the mountain path is too steep. The drainage system is still in the past. Then take a look at the Alps after the rain. These were all taken by Martin. Proper photography, street boss. Continue back to the stone house. He cleaned the floor. I look more comfortable now. Even if the king lives today. Nothing to do, Martin. He went out to pick white umbrellas. It can only be handed over to Martin thanks to the wet weather, mushrooms, and it was very rewarding for him. But not all of them are edible. For example, these plants and a few giant mushrooms were also found. In order not to be destroyed by the chicken, he went out of his way to protect it. And as the weather gets colder, the exclusive stove for the tent has to go back to work again. These efforts are also awesome. Naturally, you have to finish the work. Martin just started making dinner. The ingredients are naturally fresh. Summer is coming to an end. But Martin's food renovation has all the floors were removed not long ago. But he's not in a hurry to resurface. But the iron powder that came from the bottom free tool men helping to make Martin wild cement alive after the new year, so as to continue to fill the top 10 gaps. Martin's been on and off for 2.5 weeks. So far there are still a lot of gaps that have not been filled. But the last thing he needs is time. There are outdoor tents to live in. Just run away when it's too cold in winter. It's noon in a blink of an eye. The previous protection is scattered in vain. Now it looks like it's going to be lunch. The snow on the mountain has all melted. He was going to make a mushroom omelet for the brother chicken hanging out. I didn't expect living here is the pinnacle of their sacrifice. Martin cut the mushrooms into strips, then add to the pan and fry. Practicing cooking skills for 2.5 years. No progress seems to be made. After eating and drinking, continue to work. He also repaired the outer wall in order to survive the winter comfortably. I can't imagine the kung fu of a stick of incense. Martin was again attracted by the passing cattle and sheep nearby. This dinner looks appetizing, considering the shortage of manpower. He shook the fans at the foot of the mountain again, not to mention working hard. Perform their duties. The efficiency of division of labor and cooperation is high. There are people outside. He decided to build a suite cleaning. Wait until it is filled. Martin sanded the dry part smooth. The details have to be right. The next day Martin got up early. It's okay to just go for a walk. Left alone to sort out dry firewood. Still the familiar mountain. I don't know if he is troubled. In the afternoon, 2 old friends came to visit, and Martin lit the bonfire. Customized the frame with wooden squares. A few people sat at the stone table chatting. Then I went to the top of the mountain again. It seems that Martin really likes this place. Any friend who comes must be recommended to them. Several people Martin drove down the mountain and pulled this big guy is definitely full of calories. And when they're done, serve with bread, pesto in front of the protein. Then install. I don't know how many times that of beef. With autumn on the horizon, Martin is still unhurried. Toolman from the river. Fans put in used boards back in place. Then the three of them struggled to load the mixer onto the platform. The pastor's neighbor said a few days ago that he's not stingy either. For a few days. Directly promised free door-to-door delivery. The spacious mountain road can be directly reached. Old wooden doors from the second-hand market. Just as he was about to hear the pastor's thanks, I opened the door and found that the old boy was not at home. Martin guessed that it should be going out. Step. After all, there is so much to see in the He also has a deep understanding. So the mixer can only be unloaded in place. A few people left first. The next day, Martin woke up early. My chicken brother is still sleeping soundly. The appearance is very obvious. As the saying goes, the plan of the day lies in the morning. A good day starts with a cup of hot coffee. Start today's work. In order to reduce the burden of electricity consumption in winter, the panels. Add a new battery box. First, remove the screws on the column. And we'd get some firewood and we'd light a bonfire. After being connected to the overall frame, the remaining square wood from before is back in use. Saw the bottom into an awl. Then put it on a large fire for smoking. Visit Brother Chicken during the period. See if there is any quinton that can be charged. Empty hands looks like a trip in vain. And you come back, and the wood is carbonized. Martin moved it to the construction site. Using a steel pipe borrowed from Wunyang, lift the panel up. The side attached to the wall is sealed. Then dig out a chicken pit half a meter deep. Plug the wooden square firmly in. Rocks are filled with soil around. They have to be sawn flat for the different heights. Fix the underlying framework when you're done. Put thermal insulation cotton in it. You can put a plywood seal on it. Then choose a few suitable plates. Used to make box baffles. It's noon soon. Then the planks are gathered into the right size. Martin visits Kuncher again. The egg that Brother Chicken just laid was taken away by Lou in a blink of an eye. Start making your own lunch. After the water boils, add corn flour and waiting for the cooking gap. The wild white scattered of the isolated as the saying goes, in the wild it is wild. But he was going to save the stew. Then add other ingredients. For embedding walls, I don't know what it's called either. For the nutritional match, I also boiled a poached egg. The corn batter out of the pot to show off your craftsmanship. He was so particular about it that he set it up. Take a bite. Soft, waxy, and sweet. I don't know how many times the protein is that. Finish the rest of the work after eating. Finally, I have a clean and warm place to live. My good friend I also brought two big white dogs. Who knows what breed this is? As we all know, Martin has to work. Akun is of course inevitable. He pulls his car from down the hill to the window. Together to move it the wooden into the window frames go well. It also fits perfectly when installed. But the other one had an accident. Although the area is a bit small, the size is a full 10 centimeters. There is no way but to go back. Occasionally, there is a bringing short-term excitement to a quiet life. Just as Akun was busy installing the door frame. This is what his mother taught him last time he came. Peel the apple and cut it into pieces. Sprinkle with various seasonings and nuts. But the insulation has improved a lot. And then you roll it out. Remove the extra part of the edge. You can add the filling. The remaining dough resurfaces. Cut evenly into strips to cover the bottom. A apply a layer. It can be roasted in a charcoal fire. I never thought there was too much charcoal, and I didn't grasp the baking time. The apple pie rolled over directly in place. I can draw at night. After watching it, my friend ran. Today is a rare sunny day. Martin still gets up early to work. The previously refurbished kennel was not waterproof. He had to do it all over again. After sweeping into the dust, putting wild wire tiles in the gaps, then lift to good water. Sprinkle water and get wet to apply. Carefully seal to ensure that light rain does not leak. In order to facilitate washing your face and then you clean a hole in the house. Used to build temperature, warm masonry stove. It's impossible without him in the cold winter. Put the bricks in place first. After repeated confirmation, leveling, you can outline the specific travel of the base. Then apply mortar to fix. Look at the experience of his skilled bricklayer. At least 5 years. Martin assembled an outdoor washing area. In the blink of an eye, night falls, just as Martin was about to collect the eggs. But found that a chicken root had disappeared. As the only little friend by my side, he is also anxious. After all, it has been raised for almost a year. Looking around all corners, finally found it next to the battery panel. Martin immediately reprimanded with love. Then I took him back to the bosom friend nest next to Wild Kitchen. The next day at breakfast, we let them out for a walk. Take advantage of this leisure time. He read the masonry manual. I didn't expect it to be so complicated. Subsequent attention finished the dry cement surface. It seems that there is a little obsessive-compulsive disorder. Must be cleaned clean. The combination of the two provides a lot of convenience. Then he went back to the house and continued to build the bricks are too heavy. Afraid of getting old. He also specially shook the tool man. You have free labor. The construction efficiency of this and my friend Susan outside the house is also busy. Lunch Susan as Italian toast. It would save Martin from cooking himself. Plus the surrounding beauty. Wait until you are full. Dedala took the initiative to find work for herself again. After all, the mouth is short. While Martin was busy cutting the vents. Fortunately, he has enough tools. Soon there will be a general trip. After careful polishing, you can precisely install the rest shallots. Also needs to be opened. After that, he leisurely came to the table. I can't finish it. I started drawing myself to thank the tool people for their help these days. As the host, Martin naturally had to. The arrangement is clear. Anyone who has eaten a delicious barbecue, that's very wow. Chew into your mouth and leave a fragrance. I don't know how many. I didn't expect to just get together as night after dinner. Met an old scalper nearby. Martin guessed that it should be the birds care under the mountain and turned to admire the Alps, the shining stars of Sicyon. After sending the two away the next day, and came back with a load of concrete to be used for subsequent stone house renovations. Last week, Akon forgot to paint anti-corrosion. He plugged in the kitchen when installing the door frame, but Martin had to remove it and repaint. Then finish the battery and the rest of the to avoid the rain and snow making the ground muddy. He also lays a few stepping stones. It's hard to imagine. He worked alone on and off for 2.5 weeks. It's not even finished until today. Then have a cup of coffee and eat a pear. To enjoy the beauty of the Alps mountain fog lingers. Cook a warm dinner. Autumn rain and a sudden drop in temperature. Adding a lot of trouble to Martin. Fortunately, there is no work to do outside these days. He just has to concentrate on perfecting the brick stove. I successfully Today I'm starting another project after the base is smeared with mortar to make the fit between the bricks stronger. The blocks have to be soaked in water for 2.5 minutes until he wakes up. Then according to the outer diameter of the chimney, it can be precisely cut. The versatile Martin was never short of talent. It cuts very quickly. After careful polishing, rigorous, he did not forget the secondary. It can be firmly fixed on it now. Well known. Now I am lying on the hillside, and Martin is also a photographer. This old boy takes a random shot. It's all cinematic shots. Give everyone an immersive experience. The next day before the start of Martin drew a diagram of the structure. You can see it clearly. Dry firewood so as to maximize the use of space. Smoke onions can also hang things. Branches reveal buds. At the top is the temperature monitor. It's always been good. And they come in Try in advance to see if the shallots can be fasten the cardboard gasket. Does anyone know how this works? For the perfect combination Martin collected many wild stones. This stone is very cheap. 1 kilogram for every 500 It heralds the coming of spring. After bringing them back, it has to be sanded and cut in order to regularize the rebellious appearance. He is already hungry. Cooked myself a pot full of pasta. Still so unadorned. The next morning, genius shines Martin brightly. Got up and went for a walk. Still familiar mountains, familiar scenery. In order to eat fresh vegetables. I don't know when he can see you. When you come back, take out the newly verify the required height, then wet the ground. Apply mortar to start the laying of stone bricks. I didn't expect to live like this. He didn't finish a day. Near night, he went down the camera turns to and it's a new day. Brother Chicken is clamoring to go out. He decided to build himself a Martin is also garden. Very used to them. It's just that Quentin in the delivery room is empty. After days of rain. Finally, there is the long-lost sunlight. Martin is also very excited. Immediately another set of visual enjoyment. Before you know it, it's autumn and October. Visited again in a small car. Except he also brought his girlfriend plus Susan. A howling celestial dog. Chose a treasure land with sufficient light. Before, the size of the window frame he was took it home small. And did it twice. Processing is now fitted with glass after for a Martin's confirmation. After Akan reinstalled them and fixed them in seal place. The gap with foam glue. Make sure nothing leaks out of the house while he was busy alone. Martin, the old boy, became wait until they finish lunch. For wooden piles are driven on the ground. The two work together to stuff glass then put into the gate window frame. Retro feeling wooden structure. Complements the century-old stone house. Martin likes it very much. The rest is the assembly of glass doors and this also indicates that the food is finally no longer done. Leaking. It's almost Martin evening. Rested early after I woke up the next day and put on soil must also be loosened before fencing. The temperature is getting lower and then he went back to the house and continued to pile up according to the plan. This will be used for storing firewood in the future. Just as he was picking up the stones carefully, another Yamashita fame came as a free tool. People are naturally immediately carry heavy stones on its behalf. After covering it up with your own hands, he gave him the task of resting. This will help the vegetable seedlings thrive. Martin continued to work indoors. I didn't expect this kid to be so conscientious. One afternoon, just trim it square. And he collects them again. After finding the right one, cover it at the bottom of a stack. Time soon came to night. Even the cooking was contracted by him. As the transformation progresses, then cut the discarded door panel in half. The base of the chimney is finally so after taking the friends for a walk. The two began to install the outdoor chimney. The reddish-brown echoes the water pipes perfectly, and over time, it oxidizes to a historic greenish brown. Wait until you're done with this. Martin began to map the staircase construction. Just say what else he won't do. Take it after you have the blueprint. Make a vegetable garden frame with screws. So let's get started. First, the bottom is surrounded by stones. Then lay red bricks on top. The first step can be installed in place. Before each stone slab is laid, it needs to be roughly cut. Then perform precise grinding and dressing. Every step is according to the blueprint. In this way, there will be no errors. Fortunately, and the counterattack there are a lot of slate. The interior is filled with let him not worrying about the risk of running just out. To meet the standards. Have to spend a lot of time. Martin is a bit bored alone at night. Go to the top of the mountain to see the fireworks. I didn't expect to go back to the tent. It's snowing outside. This also indicates that winter in the Alps is approaching. It's late autumn. Experienced, he did not forget to add the wind is raging all over to avoid the solar panels being blown away. It had to be reinforced twice. Color steel tile on firewood chop. Forced to leave their jobs. Martin put them back in place. I pressed a lot of stones on it again. Remembering that at the beginning of the year, it is said that eating one chicken he took off the pole early today. Wake up in the morning. Therefore, the invasion of cracks is reduced. Martin can only go down the mountain. Take a few shots on the way, by the way. The late autumn beauty of the Alps is for fans to see. wind had stopped when it came back again. He first set the hens out for a walk. In return, for Quintins are in the bag, the netherworld. They must be Martin the happiest. Found a bottle of wine at the door. Then Martin put the tent back up again. Before the food is repaired, this is the only place to live. Then check that the tobacco village is intact. He plans to lower half of it with stones later. Surround. More stable and integrated with the whole. And I went back inside. Continue with the fireplace the next and day, staircase Martin construction. Woke up early. And a note. Hook up the trailer and head down to the sawmill. He bought a lot of chestnut planks here. But because the worker is in a hurry, he can only carry it by himself. Put it in the car. We're going to lay the boards about 45 millimeters thickness, with bamboo shoot grooves for easy splicing. Costs close to 1,100 euros. But to him it's all drizzle, as Martin sets the fireplace on fire. After a closer look, it turned out to be sent by fans. After 2 years, plumes of white smoke rise. This is definitely a landmark sign. He is no longer just a ruin being renovated. It's more like a living room. The next day, my good friend Oreo came to Martin visit. Took him for a walk in the nearby mountains. I visited a lot of wild Standing food. On the top of the mountain, he released the hens early in the morning, then go back indoors and continue. It made him feel a little more at ease. Just as he was about to drive only him to back find to that they had been the feathers all over the floor belonged to one of them. Fortunately, Martin showed up in time to save his whereabouts after a still unknown. The body was found in the bushes. So far, we can only dig a hole and bury it. After a night of rest, Baiji finally made it happy through, but also a little bloated. Although the leg is a little lame, bitten off the tail and back feathers. But fortunately, I didn't want it to splash around. But it doesn't look good to be surrounded. And it limits the hen's room space, although very sad. But the stone house repairs have to continue. Demon Yang gone for so long. For example, should there be a break, go straight down the mountain and get a big During the period, free tool people came to help. Martin gave him the task of putting dry wood on the horses. We went to see the stars together at night. As the temperature gets colder, the water in the chicken coop is frozen. Martin first slurry and wrap with heat insulation. Then pull a wire. Put a heating rod in it. All I can say is luxury. And he had bird trays nearby. Install into food. People are weird. For example, the steps have all been completed, just like the wood. The warmth can quickly rush to the whole hut. Then order a few wooden boards on the second floor. Put a mattress and you can live in it temporarily. This also indicates that the tent needs to be laid off. Another sign of the end. Come to think of it, I've been living in it for a year. The deck was built last year and a half. I'm not afraid of food spoilage in the future. The first night was very nice. Open the tent and you can see the majestic no matter what season it is. Wake up in the morning and go out. You will be shocked by the scenery in front of you. Incredible beauty. The stove keeps the interior warm. Every silent night. You can do what you like in it. But in the event of a blizzard, favorite yogurt can also be saved. Everything around is frozen. You need to worrying about the risk of being overwhelmed at all times. Directly devastating. Missing is always missing. A new round of winter is coming soon. It's time to move in. He bought all this dry wood. After all, this is the greatest protection. A few days later, cold winter nights. The renovation of the roof. The mountains received their first snowfall of Fortunately, the year. He expedited the construction period. Otherwise, you'll have to remove the mattress and then lay the floor. Now even if it snows heavily outside, it doesn't affect him at all. As the cold and long winter the mountains are also covered with snow. Martin had just returned by car from a nearby town. He found a lot of new furniture. He has already designed the construction. I just bought it all back. After all, the new home doesn't have a decent piece of furniture yet. The wall slave radiant heat fills the entire cabin. Let him not feel cold at all. It's snowing heavily outside. After Martin made himself a cup of hot back to the food and continue flooring. Due to the card slots on both sides, so it's easy to splice on. You can see that on the existing basis. But the raised part of the corner slate, the planks had to be sacrificed. Only part is cut off, to ensure the overall horizontal state. Time soon came to night. After carefully cleaning the messy side, make a makeshift bed for sleeping. Before that, you have to bake a fire in front of the fireplace. Have a delicious dinner. 6:59 in the morning. Not only did it add more descendants, Martin donned his beloved overalls. Start a new day. First, collect a basket full of dry firewood. Replenish the used space in time. After burning all night, the warm fireplace still radiates heat. It can be seen that its efficiency is still very efficient. And then the flooring continued. The remaining gaps are a bit tricky. Luckily, he has plenty of power tools. The waterproof material is after cutting out the appropriate size. Put glue on the joints. You can fill in the last piece. After 2.5 weeks, the floor is finally finished. Next is the installation of the cabinet. No tools to help. He can only carry it to the second floor. Assemble it first to see the overall size. Then move them all away. Make sure there are no more water leaks. Recognized as a hexagonal Finish warrior. The carpenter's job. It's time to show the craftsmanship of the water benefit from pre-reserved pipelines. It's much easier to connect until the gas stove is installed. The cabinet can start to officially This also indicates that can outdoor kitchens retire brightly. The next day, Martin replaced the sink with a new faucet. The roof is specially reserved for skylights. The appearance still looks very obvious. And the customized refrigerator the place next to it is specially reserved for nothing to do after dinner tonight. Then look at some new knowledge. After all, you have to live and learn. Due to the cold weather, even the hens are too lazy to eat. Egg checked it out and found nothing. However, fox footprints were found nearby. You can look at the stars. Fortunately, in bed at night. There are chicken coops to protect them so that Martin they can be went happy to the although the seasons rotate. But different beauty can always be. And as Christmas approaches, Martin went to visit his pastor neighbor. By the way, I rubbed a free The temperature lunch. Has risen somewhat these All days. The sno has pastor melted. Showed him around in order to use wild mountain spring water of up to even in the cold winter. You can also eat fresh green vegetables in this wilderness. Martin's envious back molars He plans to do one after next coming year, out of the pastor's hiking house. With a bag again. This carefree life. Who doesn't say a word of envy after when nearly they see 2 months of vacation? Martin bought pipes and faucets specially. Martin finally drove back to the Alps. The thick snow has not yet melted, so you have to drive carefully. Everything is as it was before leaving. I thought I had seen enough, but when I was there again, I was still deeply attracted. The chicken coop is holding up. The blizzard hit while he was away. Both hens are fed by the priest next door. The little guys look safe and sound. Prepare to connect with a nearby well. Going out with friends. That's absolutely true. Then he took his luggage out of the car. Go straight to the stone house you miss. The door was specially blocked to prevent the inner house from being invaded by No one has snow. Lived in the stone house for 2 months. It's freezing inside. Take a closer look. Presumably no wild thieves came to visit. And there's a big gap. This will clean up the wooden bucket then placed outside. Then fill a big basket with dry firewood. The first task is to light the fireplace. The temperature is too low to bear, while the stove is heating up. Martin sorted Your luggage is done. Make a cup of hot coffee and sit in front of the fireplace. To keep it warm. He chopped some dry wood again. So don't worry about water pressure until it fills the entire fireplace. The next day the sun has not yet risen. Martin woke up early. The destination is very clear. Old fans must know where he is going. The distant rising sun dyes the sky red. Yes, it's still no matter spring, summer, this is his favorite place to go. I can't get enough of it. After all the work is ready. When you come back, take out the newly bought LED light attached to the bottom of the shelf. This way it will brighten up a lot when cooking. A simple breakfast is full of nutrients. Daylight. He emptied the shelves and took them down. We cut grooves in the surface. Just fill in the light bar. It was standing on it. This will make it much more beautiful. Start digging the tunnel where the buried water pipe is. The details can be said to be tightly controlled. Martin is going to the pastor's house today and also carefully to thank him for taking care of his family. The two exchanged pleasantries for half a day. The pastor has nothing to serve. On the other hand, green salad is available. His house faces out, absolute full score for daylighting. Just as Martin was getting ready for bed at night, I didn't expect to dig only 2.5 liters. Got word that a car is stuck nearby. Without any hesitation, we were on the scene in a matter of minutes. Hang up the trailer rope and prepare for rescue. You don't say this stuff, thank you. It's possible. It's a new day. The leftovers are just right to feed the chickens. Just after he cleaned the floor, Martin was exhausted and out of breath. Unexpectedly, a few rotten small holes were found. Obsessive-compulsive disorder. Clean it up. After the bottom is sealed with tape, and then epoxy goes through the whole thing. All that's left is to wait for it to dry. Then fight the jungle above the wall. Used to install outdoor photos. The retro shape of the bright lamp just matches the real branches solidify just because there are 10 mixed Martin pieces sanded below. The floor carefully with an angle grinder. After removing the dullness above, brush it with a layer of flaxseed all to brighten it up. He didn't let go of the corners. The wooden doors of the cabinets are also polished together. It's secondhand after all. It looks a bit old. Then another Before layer you know it, preservative it's weekend time in new clothes. It's time to organize the hike. Very strenuous. Alpine snow cancer in March. Martin got up early today and went straight to the chicken coop. I didn't expect them to be awesome. It seems to have gained a lot. The blizzard has covered the entire mountain white as far for several days. Even the surrounding trees were bent over. This is also since he went up the mountain. The biggest snow ever encountered. Fortunately, I plan ahead. You have to dig until the year of the monkey stocked up and the month of the horse, even if the mountain is closed. Although the snow is thick, but the solar panels still need to be cleaned. After all, there are many places this is on strike. It's completely cold. I was going to go for a walk on the nearby hills. I never thought that the tree monster due to the lack of suitable tools in hand to I simply chose not to bury the Martin had no choice but to take it. Although I often come here to look into the distance. It feels different every time. Mochu has no confidant in the road. No one knows you. The flooring work continues as your own retirement home. Whether it is the splicing of stone bricks, he has to do every renovation detail himself. He assembled the faucet. Bad fat man boils 2 eggs full of protein. Eat and start a new day. 2 years on the mountain. Don't say anything else. The craftsmanship of making bread is becoming more and more skilled. The rest is left to time magic. As for food waste, don't waste it. To poultry just happen to be recycled, but just give them calcium. Direct the water pipe to the front of the house and connect it to it. They say Martin grinds sheep mushrooms. Maybe this is the slow life he is after. I had the same corn paste as Uncle Paul for lunch, with a slice of bread, although it looks unadorned. But sitting in the winter sun and enjoying it, facing the towering mountains in the distance. I feel like I'm coming up with a scratch. This type of dough is almost ready, soft and glutinous. It must The snow in the Alps is falling. After some rubbing, sprinkle, then put it in a pot and ferment again. The rest of the time continues to I'm afraid it won't be completed every 10 days and a half months. The temperature has also become much cooler. And Martin sets the baby stove on fire while the room temperature rises. Arrange your own dinner together. After a long day, a faucet is also installed in the wash. Now just put it in the oven and bake in half a gram. Golden and crispy bread will come out of the oven. When you're done, apply a thin layer of honey. Don't say it, don't say it. I really want to have a bite to taste. The next day, Martin came to the pasture. Let's clean up Aishi's tree brother together. The great mountains. Only they can help each other at this moment. According to the high horsepower output. Then take the shower to show the height. Finish the job quickly. At the end of the week, finally finish the stone tile fitting of the first wall. After the grout seam, to meet his inner acceptance criteria, the details are still very good. The world is being overwhelmed by war and fake news. I make a cricket. Martin opened the door early in the morning. The wood I bought before came in handy today. I was stunned to see the scene in front of me. Half a cummy deep chicken blood. It was extremely difficult to walk normally. I don't know if the chicken coop has been crushed. He also hurried to check the footprints. Fortunately, no corners were cut. Standing strong against the blizzard. Not as vulnerable as college. The previously built wild kitchen look at is also entangled, and we turned them into wood ore. Don't say the scenery is really decisive. Friends who have never seen snow, because the snowflakes and the old horse saves energy. Shovel a path through the bucket first, directly to the location of clear the snow off the surface and so as to solve the immediate emergency. After all, cameras and indoor lighting need Martin as a photographer to install the water heater. Every picture feels like a movie. It feels like you're in it. Immersion is to feel the unique tranquility and peace. Wait until the two old naturally hens are charged. A few protein-filled eggs couldn't be better, although each slate has been carefully pasted. But every job is still indispensable. Watch his skillful and silky shaving. Must have 2.5 years of practice. Fix for more brackets around. Because I'm too lazy to do the laundry myself. Martin has saved enough. Looking for fully automatic help down the mountain. And with the tearing down of the tents, it's time to remove the base completely. I have left many beautiful memories here, but everything will be gone. Only food is the true destination. After a busy day, it's finally dinner time. The water heater can be completely an unpretentious meal full of nutrients. Before going to bed, don't forget to sketch your open in perfection to perfect the details. As a famous hexagonal warrior, there's nothing he can't do. After getting up the next day, put the toolman in charge of dismantling the floor. I went on a tour in my car. Enjoying this part of life. Now just screw on the hot and cold water pipe. Martin remarks first, then let him talk. And the majestic Alps. There will always be scenery he can't enjoy. Wait until you come back from He turned shopping. Around and went to work. Wash the floor with acid. It's beautiful. The tool man has no consciousness. What did Martin do when he left? The place to take a shower also it's still needs a dime when I come back. In an instant, he seemed to have found someone and prepare the same boat. The two of them sat on the mountain like chatted this. About cuttlefish experience. As the temperature slowly warms, the snow is melting away. So Martin decided to take a walk down the mountain. After all, it is not realistic. But before we do, we have to clean up. Put a big slate. After 2.5 minutes of driving, in the face of new road conditions, snow chains otherwise must be replaced. It will definitely be light with one piece when 5 and down. 1 yuan. Next is the home arriving of the post office up the mountain. Such a stout tree trunk garden carpet. You can see how severe the blizzard is. The blessing of mountain. After sawing it off, move it back to the camp. It can be reused. You don't have to worry about becoming a puddle of mud. The next day he cleaned the small warehouse. It's been a long time since I cleaned up. Then opened the exit on the wall for installing water heaters. On the other side of the room temporarily form a food between the water pipe. It is much easier to wash up in the morning. Besides, the floor drain has already been buried. Don't worry about standing water and know where to go until nightfall. Then bring in the water heater. The clock in long. Compared to the dim lights under the mountain, he still likes the unique condensation here. The universe is undecided. You and I are both dark horses when the alarm goes off. You and I are both cattle and the sun has just emerged. Martin pushed his cart. Come to the chicken coop. Became a shed shoveling officer. High-quality natural fertilizer. The shower is fixed on the eaves. It is best to use as a base fertilizer just between restoring the vegetable garden. Suddenly I found that the branches although not far away only a few small trees, but it also foreshadows the Alps. Spring in Sri Lanka is approaching. Then replace the pole inside. Let the two friends live more comfortably. I wanted to use the trailer to pull but the slippery road nearly made him roll, and they made these brackets. I had no choice but to pull the driveway out with my bare hands. He also built a wooden door to the small house. The outdated style looks very well considering that it has been a long time. It's too cold and really inconvenient outside. So Martin went down the hill and got a shower system. After cutting, draw the appropriate height. Then you can apply the universal adhesive using the high temperature emitted by the pelvis and the septic. Splice the pipes together completely with the shower on. Hot water vapor also diffuses. Chicks in hot water is free and easy although in the wilderness. No one can be seen for 10 days and a half months. But the gentleman has to be kept in place. Can't find a hairdresser. Then do it yourself. After taking care of it, don't say it, don't Martin say will be able to enjoy the freedom of hot and with the tranquility of spring. Martin took up the practice of birch branch although it takes time to collect but it's not bad to try a few drops first to satisfy Has anyone in front of the screen drunk this thing? The old horse doesn't talk nonsense. He lifted his hoe and dug. This shaya grows after potatoes just right. Regarding privacy issues, it reuses that manure. Soon, 3 soy grains were sorted out. Not very big, but ripe enough for him to eat alone. Clean up the weeds in the small vegetable garden. Wait for the temperature to rise a little higher. You can start peeling the Chinese taro seedlings, since friends at the foot of the mountain often come to visit, to give them a better experience. A fire stove that has been used for nearly 2 years. There's not even a ghost in a 10-mile radius. It's time to tear it down and rebuild it. After all, this is also a major appeared many times in Martin's past videos. Sitting here eating barbecue and drinking beer. Don't mention how cool it is. And the arrival of a spring rain. It fills the atmosphere pole on the mountain. Sunny morning after rain. Birds chirping. Love clean him. Just wash and brush and you're done. First, wipe your shoes brightly, although in the wilderness. But a gentleman must lead the way. Martin's leisurely day. Start by sitting in front of the door. If you don't want to work, keep running away. Enjoy the spring sun quietly. Mountain breeze. Listen to health nominations. Come back and take out the sewing machine that has not been used for a long time. He reached out to test the water temperature, getting ready to make a curtain for the window. Well, he irons the fabric flat. Then it can be operated on the machine. The skilled sewing technique is definitely due to the advanced preparation of the support frame. Now just hang it up. The plain colors complement the whole. The life on the mountain is the envy of even the dog. Sneaking away from home to play with Martin. In order to live up to the enthusiasm, a stick is the greatest source of happiness. The next day he pulled in pieces of project the position of the bedside. The weather forecast says it will cool down again. Prepare materials in advance. You can work safely indoors. The snow in the Alps rings. When I woke up, the outside winter returns briefly in silver. The newly grown leaves are also fully covered with snowflakes. However, this does not affect after moving the comfortable big bed. You can start the wallboard. It is equipped with design drawings as support. Let Martin have no worries. Just cut out the right length. You can set the base plate at one time to ensure the omnipotence. I also deliberately measured it and then you fill the middle with foam. So I can't wait to experience it. And then came the oak planks. At the speed of a sorcerer. This is expected to take another few weeks to complete while installing the wall panels. By the way, the washing table don't say you really don't perfect. Say it's exquisite. After the cleaning is completed, return the big bed to its original position. The decoration of the details. I feel like there is something missing. The picture is too beautiful to show to everyone. So he bought a brand new sofa from the bottom of the mountain. No one to help, just a little bit of effort. After placing it, Martin sat on it. It feels like home right now. After 2.5 years of Martin's first food is finally done. The finished product is almost warm the same and as the original yet design, neat and elegant. I want to kick him out, I love the Lord. To celebrate the completion of a new home. The weather is not bad today. He invited his pastor neighbors. Dinner with friends down the mountain. Simple vegetable salad with refreshing beer, but it has a different taste. I remember the first time I went to the pastor's neighbor's house as a guest. Envy at the same time makes Martin more motivated. It can be regarded as living up to the hard work of more than 2 years. Not the way to keep it outside. Due to passing through the door, the slate can only be tilted, relaying 100 caddy stone slabs. Fortunately, there are internet trolls in the comment area. The tube is buried and then covered with soil. Then more slate came in to harden the front of the door. It looks a lot cleaner now, but in pursuit of beauty, he sprinkled trough all over the gap. When summer comes, he also built a water control system, water meter transformer. All main valves are available. Then connect to the water pipe for testing. One word, perfect. As for the remaining excavation, Martin specifically rents toys from under the car, but to avoid excavators, he invited to test the membership. Measure the specific floor area of your new home. And by the way, the boundary, unexpectedly don't know. The good guy covers an area of 15 fingers is the tip of the iceberg. Now you can dig in a big way. Although the toy car looks small and exquisite, but awesome, all the ditches were dug in one day. Not only can you bury water pipes, there is no problem the lease with the wires. Dig a wild toilet, by the way. It's about making the most of it. Backfill the soil the next day. When you're tired, have an 82 beer. Lying on the hillside and looking at the distance, you can sunbathe on your head. What more bike? Spring is coming quietly. The grass seeds between the slates are full of vitality. As temperatures rise, the garden is now operational. Beginners plant some vegetables they like to eat. One step further from a self-sufficient life. To prevent wild boars. The iron fence of the Zero Yuan. Next, Martin is going to build a summer terrace, a tent for sleeping. I saw that he carefully measured the specific Put a stake on the ground and mark it. And then we're removing the sod. The excavated soil can also be just right for filling the ramp. And we replaced the compasses with wooden squares. 10 more pieces to build the foundation. He has to balance it. But when the wood was just bought and ready to be built, the weather changes face faster than your girlfriend. The pouring rain slopes down. He had to hide in the food. Continue to build with housing. First saw the wooden squares into and the then it sits on the ground as a framework. The octagonal shape is not and only the outer sturdy, edges are also by planks. Then the interior is re-reinforced. Carefully cut planks nailed together perfectly. After 2 days of dedication, so the base frame is formed. If you come to our village to be a carpenter, Martin is definitely the presence of the Archduke. Wake up the next day and continue to improve the base before laying the floor. And he added a little platform in order to prevent the sweater from happening on the terrace. He tapered the bottom of the square on fire. And then one by one, you knock them into the frame. The next day, I woke up and had laid the cut planks one after the other and reinforced with wild nails. Serious him. The surface of each wooden board, the burrs on the edge can't be let during this period. Fans from Yamashita come to visit. These young weight-free tools. How could Martin not make the most of it? Whether it's moving rocks or cleaning out a good hand. As for compensation, no barbecue can't solve it. If not, then let them go. Thanks to accurate measurement and so that it can be laid tightly. It also seems very healing. Gossip Terrace appearance is online for patients with obsessive-compulsive disorder. The next day, Martin also has the large extended. Then connect the steps to the terrace. The two sides of the frame are reinforced finally covered with wooden piles. Even if the outdoor terrace is fully spacious interior. Even if there are two mahjong tables, it is not out the door is the stunning Alps. Just not too cool. If the lights are on at night, the atmosphere is instantly full. As summer comes, the grass around them is growing stronger. Martin borrowed the ruthlessly harvesting everything around. And the tool man at the foot of the mountain was Yamashita fans come to visit Martin again. How can you not contribute some gross profit? Martin immediately directed them to move the blender. Cub Helen. The wild hair book dug up before moving the large stone remodeled slab. By the way. It was meant to be used. But it's really inconvenient to have girls. Martin shows off a wave of his cooking skills. It can't be too dark after doing so much activity. Hand-baked bread served with happy. A meal is cooked directly from day to evening. Fix the frame of the toilet and the laying of the wall panels befriends Susan. His craftsmanship is just as good. Brush on anti-corrosion paint after sealing. Of course, the toilet lid cannot be missing at the same time. Also they relocated the water heater. And Martin went to work in order to avoid getting dirty. The more you wash your feet, and two slabs at the bottom. After applying anti-corrosive paint, the space as large as one person. To say that there are girls in the family is flowers and plants everywhere. Knitting through his head. Add a lot of warmth to the food. As for why we are slow to refurbish Martin also gave the specific reason. That is, the approval document from the housing department. He can't mess around just yet. Wait until the next day after all the tools are gone. He covered the bathroom with a plastic ceiling and finally fixed the shelves. Bring in the kitchen and sink as well. It looks perfect now. Lights on at night. There are also many warm feelings. Considering the storage problem, Martin deliberately and the plastic ceiling is naturally indispensable. The bathroom. To protect their privacy, the toilet is also curtained. The interior is spotless. The sawdust is used to absorb odors, occasionally anger. Martin was also eager to come forward. Martin got up early today. He combed his hair to look like an adult, although in the wilderness. But a gentleman's demeanor needs to be the building approval that has been waiting for a year was issued not long ago. But before that, empty all the indoor debris first. It's lunchtime soon. Wash potatoes. Onions with fresh green potatoes cooked from the garden. Waiting for the pot to come out. He had a saw and he was cutting the shoots. These century-old logs should also be laid off and sold. Fill yourself with food. Come to the terrace and enjoy a delicious meal with a beautiful view. Before the food renovation is completed, he's going to live in this tent. Martin went down the mountain to find the way and pick up steel scaffolding along the food circle. Where there are not enough steel pipes, it has to be sturdy use enough wooden squares instead, for ease of erection. I had to tear down a small hole in considering the need to transport materials up and down. Simple channels are naturally indispensable. And then finally the splint. Even if the scaffolding is completed, now go up and steady a batch. As for the reward for the tool of revenge, if you have a happy person want, you won't start cleaning the roof slate the next day. To say that more people is more power. Otherwise, these 100 catty things. Martin must be tired alone. The failure to move it down next door will be during the period later. A few to milk shoes were also found. Protein is the staple of beef. And these works have been measured and due to severe rain erosion. It's time to let off. But before tearing them down, Martin is going to demolish the house in the house. It was originally built as a temporary home, so disassembly is also very convenient. Classify and arrange. It can be used again in the future. I never expected to find a duck neck as a native of the wall. Martin is also embarrassed to let. As for the other stone house, Martin turned him into a tool shed. After applying anti-corrosion, arrange your precious tools neatly. Just store it here. Do not pinch patients with obsessive-compulsive disorder. Cut to pieces of watermelon. Isn't the joy of summer here? The new measurement boss delivers 1,300 meters above sea level. This service is also very wow. After the two work together to unload one Martin has to tie a cable tied to the top. Move it around in a trolley, but it's too heavy to roll over halfway. Or you have to practice gull and iron. Without tools to help him, this crane is Martin's masterpiece. Continuously experimenting. It consists of a boom and a base. 6 months. It's going through a bearing in the middle. The back end is for stone breeding. In the front is the hanging plate. Lifting is the responsibility of the motor. This is true throughout the woodworking world. It's also quite explosive. Hoisting 100 keddies weighs a piece of cake. But the dismantling has to be left and set up the newly bought measure on it. To make the roof stronger, Martin prepares to install concrete assemble the card slot with the wooden board waterproof the inside. After confirming that the overall add internet trolls in the comments section. You can use a blender to live while the concrete again. Take advantage of the time he paired it with mortar and slate. Crafting a wild dining table. From now on, it will be very difficult to sit here and enjoy the scenery. I found myself pouring in. The construction method is not bad. Then rest assured to assemble the remaining card slots. You punch holes in each put on steel and connect them as one. In this way, even if a magnitude 8 earthquake, the roof has become a hole. Ring beams are all dry. So he took them off one by one. Since the tools have all gone home, the collar can only be laid by Martin alone. Fortunately, this thing is not too heavy, so he's totally capable of pinching. Early morning, full sky. Wait until the clouds clear. Another busy day begins. Watching the dark clouds come in the sky at noon, Martin calculated that it must rain. So I unconsciously accelerated the handwork. He sawed the collar out of the slot. After rearranging it, it will perfectly connect with the bottom. To ensure that the roof slope is transplanted, he used level mud on purpose. The high part clicks directly. Until the dark clouds covered the evening and the rain started pouring down, Martin covered the roof with a tarpaulin. Then he returned to the house with peace of mind. And he went back to designing. Give all beams and ridges the next day. Brush on a layer of anti-corrosion paint. When termites come, they have to scratch their heads and we're going to put it back up. Rigorous. He wants to make sure the middle has to be tight. Then I took out a 20 centimeters long secure the collar strip firmly in place. If the shadow tomahawk doesn't work well, you can also change tools at any time. Infrared cameras have captured quite a few. The roof keel has been fully reinforced. The rest is the most important waterproof. Martin's sin is suitable for long hair. Lay the removed wall panels on the bottom. The space in the middle is where the skylight is. There will be a wild woman in the future. We can lie in bed together and it also increases indoor lighting with the help of friends. Complete all caps in one day. In order to treat the tool person well, Martin picked it from nearby. Make a big meal that I don't know. They sit at a wild table, accompanied by beautiful scenery. It's not pleasant to chat with seniors about Dinner life. Was even arranged for grilled steak. There's an endless supply of beer. After sending off the tool the next day, Martin is alone again. It is still perfect bottomless farming. First lay a layer of moisture-proof mat. Summer in the Alps. Rain is still very frequent. Cut the wood square to the right length. One by one, they're fixed to the roof. The space in the middle is used to lay glass wool. This is the insulation material he specially selected. And the thermal insulation and sound absorption functions are also good. Seal the gap at the connection with waterproof tape. The roof is waterproof, even if it is all completed. He is ready to rest, while the pastor's house is I went to the vegetable shed and poured a lot of fresh fruits. And there are endless red apples. Pure natural and pollution-free. No technology and no mix. Therefore, he also specially packed a large bag to take home. And the growth of your own vegetable garden is even more amazing. I didn't expect that the work of growing vegetables is also easy to handle. After washing, prepare to make potatoes. Martin's proper hexagonal warrior. Forget the plenary session. Even the mason's fire is still extinguished after he replugged the wall. In order to avoid the subsequent slate put a layer of the waterproof part. Then work with friends to install the sunroof. As autumn comes, the temperature difference between day and night on the mountain is gradually. At the same time, the tent was also installed early and heat early to avoid freezing. The next day I dug 2 large pots. The growth of the vegetable garden is very gratifying. Then he painted the color with anti-corrosive Another layer paint was laid on the roof. Now comes the slate laying. But shaking people is essential. Otherwise, this 100-caddy boulder, one person can't move it. Friends join forces. After going up, fix it with screws and the collar at the bottom. The placement is also very particular. They have to be in order, so that the rain doesn't hit easily. If there are not enough raw materials, there are still many nearby. It's just a bit of a waste tool that people need to move back and forth. Finally, it's all capped before. And as more and more existing solar panels are purchased, can no longer meet the demand for electricity. So Martin had to have a second retrofit, make a clearing and reframe it. Then put the solar panels on and sort it out. The project has had one experience, so it's very easy to do it. Clean up the Avoid affecting the lighting of the electric board. Now the battery is sufficient and when he wakes up, outside the tent is already wrapped facing a moving snow scene that has not been seen in a year. Go to the hillside. Wait until the snow on the roof melts. Test whether there will be water leakage with due to the low temperature affects the melting capacity of the battery. Martin then lit a candle. The tents benefit from the blessing of stoves. The temperature also reached 16 degrees. You don't feel cold at all. Wake up the next day and shake the snow in order to avoid heavy snow closures. Martin put snow chains on his car. Go down the mountain to purchase supplies. Whether or not this snow scene is really beautiful. Check the water pipes when you come back safely. Fortunately, it is buried deep enough. And Martin kept him in the flow, so it's not frozen. Although the weather is so cold, he still insists on cooking outside and at night. I mean really antifreeze. And as Christmas approaches, Martin will also be away for a while. I didn't expect a heavy snow. Just dry out Martin's tent. Fortunately, the pastor's neighbors found out in time. He removes the damaged support rod from inside. Then ask with the help of tape the steel pipe. Secondary reinforcement of the support rods. And then you clear the snow. Then recool the soft tent. If you want to go out, you have to rely on friends. Two and a half weeks later. Martin, after Christmas, driving your own chimney. Returned to the Alps as scheduled. He looked at everything around him and felt at home. Luckily it didn't snow. The tent survived and he came back. Looking at the neighbor's masterpiece, Martin is very satisfied. However, the chimney waterproof but these are small problems. Damaged. 2 months away. Martin has long been obsessed with food. Check inside and out. All intact. Then he cleans up the chicken blood. The rest can only slowly melt when the temperature rises. Solar panels are off for so long. It's time to go to work. To avoid the battery pack took it down frozen, before it also needs to be put back in place now. When I come back this time, Martin specially bought new support poles. It's not that you don't trust your neighbor's craftsmanship. It's just that Wu Niang is in a hurry. After his steel pipe is replaced, then seal the waterproof ring. The next day, Martin woke up early. Wash up. Comb your hair to look like an adult. Last year he bought a truckload. There's still so much left. Fill a whole basket. Bring them back to the terrace and let them fully sunbathe. The exposed water pipes have long been frozen. So Martin buys a hot air blower. After 2.5 hours of continuous heating, the faucet can produce water normally. It's only 3:30 in the afternoon. The sun has been blocked by the mountain. He decided to rush before the sun went down. Remove the scaffolding. I didn't expect to be accidentally bitten by iron. He quickly stopped his work and inspected it carefully. Although the wound is long, it is not very deep. He is excellent at 8 characters. So only a simple disinfection was carried out. I thought it would be a million today. Unexpectedly, I took out my own thanks to 2.5 years of practicing. Now he is very successful in painting. The next day I woke up and the weather was still very good. He is in a great mood. Dismantling the scaffold is much faster. To be safe, I'm wearing gloves this time. Considering the need to hang the eaves, then he painted the planks with anti-corrosive paint. Reinforce it on the eaves. Heavy dark colors complement the century-old. In addition to that house, we also need to install a wooden mop. It's made by Martin himself, full of artistic sense, although it is made of wood. But the robustness is perfect. But when it comes to beauty, it has to be the Alps. Xian dyed the sky Every red. Stitch is the presence of paid wallpaper. The winter in the Alps is particularly long. Fortunately, Martin really enjoyed his time here. Countless beautiful scenery. Let him put his loneliness behind him. But it's not always easy. Due to the low temperature on the mountain. Wake up in the morning. Whether it's coffee or olive oil, frozen hard. Fortunately, as witty as Martin, keep the faucet open. And that solves the water problem. He made himself a pot of hot coffee. Supplement body calories. And then it cleans the snow off the solar panels. This will maintain a sufficient power supply for handmade drains. Martin is also very satisfied. Before installation, anti-corrosion paint is naturally indispensable. And then we attach it to a wooden stand. Apply it where it is connected. Waterproof glue is not only does it go well with drains, and it will happen over time by reddish brown. Oxidation to a historic and with the last layer of scaffolding removed. The roof repair is finally completed on pattern work. Martin is definitely number one. Now is the time for an internal makeover. It looks horrible inside. Like a pig roll, but Martin didn't care. And I have already drawn a large sum for myself. The first floor is designed as a bedroom with a corner fireplace. Go up the stairs to the second floor. Here is the living room, office area, in addition to making retaining walls. Used to strengthen the foundation of century-old food. I just don't know when it will be finished. After dinner, he doesn't want to go to bed too early. A new round of painting began. After 2.5 years of practice, now I have written like a god, whether it is the main line or color matching, near and far. Trend relationships are all pinched. The next day, Martin got up early. After washing up, he left with his rising sun on his back at 7:30 in the morning. Yes, he went to see the sunrise, sitting on the hill with a cup of hot coffee. Life was really understood by him. When he came back, Martin came rocking I also from pulled a truck of steel tool frames, man, by the way. The two worked together to move it into the house, and they start digging the ground. But the amount of work is a bit large. New recruits were added the next day. There is no way, but the staff is good. These young people coming down the mountain, all big fans of Martin. They work really, really hard. As for compensation, no good meal can solve it. I didn't expect foreigners to punch too. Can you stand that? Besides, the eating mouth they didn't complain about the smoke. Wait until the void is cleared to build a retaining wall. I saw that they were out of the party. Then the mixer is used to load the concrete again. We're going to build stairs, so it needs to be poured without dead ends. As for the drainage system in the house, Martin is ready to take advantage of the mountain. The high side is connected to the lower side water pipe. Utilize gravity for wastewater. Directly discharged and pastor neighbors have delivered pipe rain, just so that he doesn't have to go down the mountain. The winter in the Alps never ends. So the first thing I do every morning is to clear the snow in front of the door. And when he was done, Martin cured wild cement alive. Refill the gap under the eaves as he mended the stone wall. Admired fans. Already in the snow wheat output, covered with tendon meat. Looks like a good job. Martin cooked by himself at noon. Make a hearty bread feast. Treat free labor. Cannibalism short mouth. Do you have to continue now? This empty bottom. Martin prepares to build a chicken. After all, how can there be no poultry in pastoral life? After laying the foundation, the rest of the framework is self-contained. Just splice it on. A collar is added to the top for traction. Fix with wild screws. Careful. Martin also painted the wood with preservative paint. Completed the framework of the chicken coop. Amia Cheng wants to wake up. Blizzard almost sent them away. His own chimney is about to be sold by the snow. The house leak happened to rain overnight. There's not much left. Martin made an immediate decision. While the snow has not yet closed the mountain, clean the car out. Down the mountain for a few days. If you want me to say it's real gold. Places with too thick snow can only be cleaned manually. After walking for a long time, standing on the cliff and admiring the surrounding snow scenery, Martin drove back a week later. In the distance are the majestic Alps. Just as he was full of expectations, reality hit him hard. A sudden snowstorm almost destroyed Martin's house. All I could see were ruins. Fortunately, the chicken coop is just a hollow frame, still standing strong. It's no use regretting it at this point. Since you decided to live here, be ready to face any difficulties. He takes the stuff that was blown away by the wind. Then they started to repair the collapsed kitchen. Fortunately, it just broke the landlord, but one person obviously lost, so he put on hold. Reassemble damaged solar panels. Find a friend at the foot of the mountain the next day. Then put the repaired roof frame on it. In order to ensure overall stability, Martin has added new columns, and the bottom is actually concrete. Now even if the stone level wind comes, don't be afraid. Because it's useless to be afraid. Under his transformation, the kitchen stood up again. As for the tent, it's a completely minor issue. Say goodbye. The elegant Martin will spread Simon neatly. The next day, he, who is reassemble in place, bought a new one directly. After all, the stone house has not been repaired yet. I still need a place to live. These things, life is back on track. Martin continued to build his chicken coop. After the roof is covered with planks, for the sake of waterproofing, you have to apply a layer of colored steel tiles. He also has to take care of the interior renovation solidified. Then empty all the excess. You can easily knock the rebar, then install the baffle. Continue to pour the top 10. There's a blender helping again. This saves him a lot of energy for retirement. The pace of life doesn't have to be too fast. When he had time, Martin would visit the mountains. Martin just woke up early in the morning. I didn't expect to find a porcelain sparrow. Maybe it's because I wiped the mirror to clean. This stupid bird couldn't tell the difference and everything about a fate. Martin decided to pack it. As a senior designer, Coop Martin also drew special drawings. And then it's time to get started. I saw that he first fixed the floor joists. Then the planks are well sized. Cut it to the right length. It can be laid neatly. its sturdiness even if chickens grow
It's not
inside.
a problem
And
to
they
jump
made
soft
compartments
as
their
for the
delivery
hens.
room. The frame is then populated. The compartment is specially reserved for opening and closing doors. It is convenient to take out fresh eggs later. And then he made an invisible door. And it's got windows. Look at this specification. Just when Martin thought
when I woke
what
up,
he coming to the Alps were covered with snow again. Martin thought he had seen enough snow. Facing such beauty, he's still deeply in it. But you can't stay long to visit your friends. After drinking a cup of hot coffee, the two of them, Martin sent it down the mountain in the snow. We also visited the nearby food. These buildings have weathered hundreds of years of wind and frost. Most of them have collapsed and damaged. This made Martin feel distressed after seeing it. It reinforces the idea of repairing and he came back with a carriage full of gravel. After clearing the soil from the wall, put on the steel frame and continue to pour the retaining wall. Martin has designed the heating system. I don't know when it will be built. The top is drawn. Winter is about to pass. This also means that there is no need to be afraid. The snow is over. The concrete wall also extends to the doorway. After removing the remaining molds, Martin turned to mix the noodles to make the furnace assistance is in order to prevent weasels from buying for €0. Martin added barbed wire to the chicken. Now the chicken can be in it, living a safe and stable life. Then he took down the toilet and bathroom curtains. Riso brand new proper hexagonal warrior. What else would he not do? And with the arrival of spring, the temperature has also risen a lot. The Alps are alive again. Martin grows his favorite fruits and vegetables. His father came specifically from the Netherlands. Let's see how our son is doing in this barren mountain. I haven't retired yet. He fell back to the life of an idle cloud and a wild crane. They're all here. Martin didn't let his father idle either. Let Dad experience everything he can do. Nothing to entertain. Still the familiar toast with beer. Leisure time. He would also take his father and good friends to climb mountains. Come to the top of the mountain where you often go. Appreciate the wonders of nature. Or down into the valley. By the way, you can also wash your feet in the stream. I also specially visited the church. Martin went to the market. All kinds of poultry are being sold in the cage. The chicken coop at home has been idle for a long time. After carefully transporting them back, I didn't expect it to be quite big. Now he can finally have a living being to accompany him in order to allow Brother Chicken to return to the bedroom smoothly.